Alright guys, we're going to be seeing how good the brand new Dokkanfest LR Golden Frieza and Gogeta is at 55%. As you can see, they are screaming out for that dupe path to be opened. They're at level 1 links, but let's see how they do at the bare minimum. So this is the team we're going to be running. We have their Golden Frieza on the team as a placeholder for the time being before we do get the EZA for the AGL LR Golden Frieza. That rotation between the two LRs is going to be so good. Cannot wait for that. We also have our 4 extreme class allies, along while having a movie heroes or movie boss unit team, considering we are running the both, considering Golden Frieza and Gogeta do lead them. So we have that condition always active at all times. Frieza is sitting on a 652k attack stat, 287k defense, and he's starting to turn off with 250 attack and defense, regaining an additional key +2 per orb obtained and 70% damage reduction. We have almost every link active right now aside from legendary power. I mean, if we literally just do this, we can get legendary power active, taking him up to a 694 attack stat. So I'll leave it like this, and because it is his entry, his first entry, he does have guaranteed guard for 5 turns as well, which coupled with that 70% damage reduction is going to be fantastic. One thing I really do like about the Golden Frieza portion of this unit is something he already has right now, and that is his active skill. And as long as you have 4 or more extreme class allies on the team, you can have his active skill ready to go as soon as you start any fight in the game. Now, we are starting with just over an 8.2 million attack stat. He does need to be hit to cause some type of build-up. So that is a little bit low to begin with. But of course, again, he is sitting at 55%, which I don't think will be a problem. But we do need him to gain some type of build-up, which we are starting right now. So that was, what, 3 hits after the super attack? Which is very nice indeed. Which on super attack, Frieza is greatly raising attack by 50%. But more importantly, providing all allies with a 50% attack raise for the turn as well. Unfortunately, that does mean Self is excluded. Would have been nice to get Frieza 100% in total, but still the support is very nice indeed. And then the 12 key is giving him another 50% attack raise as well. But just having that active skill just ready to go, as long as you have the 4 or more extreme class allies on the team, is huge. Especially when you consider Golden Frieza's active skill being a taunt, and him getting a ton of defense, having that ready to go for essentially whenever you need it, whenever you feel like using it. If things get techie early on, you know, rotations aren't in order, the wrong unit gets super attacked, or a unit gets locked, having Frieza just ready there with that amazing active skill, as long as you have the 4 or more extreme class allies, is huge for team coverage. Literally having that type of strong active skill ready on turn 1 is, I think, such an amazing like team ability to have, and I'm a big fan of it. So the fact that we can just have his active skill ready to go as soon as we start any fight is a massive pro in my opinion, and I think probably with your guys as well. So we are 1 turn down in terms of the guard that we do have for 5 turns as well, along with the friend as well. He's going to be 2 turns down as well. Because starting from the 6th turn, he will lose the guaranteed guard and go into a 70% chance of guarding all attacks, which I think I can speak on behalf of everyone in this case. I think none of us like chances to guard, which is fair. But that doesn't matter, because as soon as turn 5 hits and you run out of your guaranteed guard, that is when you're going to exchange into Gogeta anyway. So by the time he loses the guaranteed guard, it kind of doesn't matter, because you're going to be swapping him out anyway, so it just doesn't really mean anything. But then when having 4 or more extreme class allies on the team, or another movie hero or movie boss, which you're always going to be doing, building a 4 extreme class units and then having 3 super class units to trigger both parts of Frieza's passive and Gogeta's is very easy to do, because you have your own Golden Frieza and Gogeta, the friend Golden Frieza and Gogeta. That's already 2 extreme class units. Eventually, by next week, the EZA for the AGL LR Golden Frieza's 3, and all you need is 1 more. And even then, as long as you have another movie hero or movie boss category ally attacking in the same turn, which of course the LR Golden Frieza EZA is going to be, you're always going to have that condition ticked off and ready to go, which is going to be giving Golden Frieza a guaranteed additional super. Not really needed because it doesn't give any defense on 12 key nor 18 key, but you know, definitely not going to turn down some extra damage, but very easy to do that anyway. Gonna say, going to be even more easier by next week when that EZA does drop. As I said, that rotation is going to be so good. Cannot wait to try that out. So while we do have the 70% damage reduction and guaranteed guard, I'm actually going to let Frieza go in slot 1. I feel like here on this first phase, he should be fine to tank, because then also we can build him up as well, because he is getting, for every attack received, 150% attack and a chance to crit by 10%. It's only within the turn, but with that many attacks sitting in slot 1, kind of want to see where we can get Frieza to. I mean, I'll take that. What was that? 62 mil. 62 mil. That's crazy. And that's not even like we forced it either. Again, he's got guard and 70% damage reduction. And I know you can say he doesn't have the defense to go with it, which he doesn't. But let's not forget how strong all of that damage reduction and guaranteed guard is. There are going to be some cases where you're probably not going to want to force him to go in slot 1, especially with like super hard hitting enemies. I get that. But it's not something you have to do. And then early on anyway, if there's an enemy that has multiple phases, you could probably get away with it again, especially with how strong all of that damage reduction and guard is going to be. But 150 attack for every attack received. And we just got him to 62 million like that. All at 55%. I know it's temporary because only for that turn. And again, depending on how many hits you take, depends how much crit chance he builds up as well, which is great at 55% when a unit doesn't have any dupes. You know, and building that crit chance up helps him a ton. But 62 million is crazy. Again, I know it's temporary, but still. The fact that you can range anywhere from as low as 8 million from not being hit at 55% all the way up to, you know, 50, 40, 60, 70 million is nuts. And again, it's not even like we had to kind of force him there. He's got 70% damage reduction and guard. That's a lot. As I said, maybe certain enemies are doing ridiculous amounts of damage early on, typically like very short fights, maybe minimal phase fights. You kind of want to avoid doing that. He might not be able to tank it that well, but even then, I think only the strongest of the strongest with a super attack is probably going to kill Frieza in slot 1, if we're being realistic. But the fact that I can get him up to 62 mil at 55% like that is just kind of absurd. And then not only that as well, whenever his guard is activated, which of course within that 5-turn time frame, within that 5-turn span, it's going to be guaranteed activated at all times. Golden Frieza is getting 20% defense up to 100%, which I know that doesn't last that long. You know, there's only 5 hits, it's only 100%, but it does beef him out just a little bit more. Then we have the final conditional part of his passive, which is when there are 3 or more superclass allies on the team, which we do have. Starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry, or starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, he will change key spheres of AGL and strength to tech and randomly change fizz or int key spheres to rainbow key spheres, and that's when we can reversible exchange, and we can get all that orb changing because it lines up very well. All that orb changing set up for when we reversible exchange into Gogeta, and we can feed him all those tech orbs and build him up all that dodge chance that he gets, so we can pretty much guarantee Gogeta with the guaranteed dodge. This unit's set up so perfectly for itself. I think it's probably one of the best constructed unit we've ever seen in Dokkan, dare I say. So we're going to swap into Gogeta. And we are ready to go with him. So now that we are changed into Gogeta, we do start with key plus 6, 250 attack and defense. We do receive an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained, and attacks are effective against all types, and we do have a 50% chance to dodge as a base. And then once we pick up 1 orb, not that we're going to notice it here because we literally have 99% HP as it is. So we might as well pop this. We're going to pop the friend Golden Friezas so we can see it, and then we're going to pop my Gogetas so we can see both.
you will ever see.
Now we're going to see how strong Golden Frieza's active skill is, but this friend's Golden Frieza is rainbowed, so he'll be a little bit stronger. Now I know we did miss out on giving Gogeta all of that orb changing, because it does happen on turn 3 or turn 5. We already got it, but we could have guaranteed Gogeta guaranteed dodge, which again I think is such a good setup and such a well-constructed thing to do for a unit. But it's all good, it's okay, it's all good. So we're going to literally pick up one orb, and as I said, it does give us guaranteed HP recovery, full HP recovery. But it doesn't matter because we only needed 1% as it is, so we didn't really get to see too much of that. How's the friend Golden Frieza going to tank this? 80 damage. I mean, he literally gets, what, 400% defense on his active skill? Something ridiculous like that, 400%. And the crazy thing is, you can use his active skill, kind of like a Beast Gohan type situation. You can use his active skill where Golden Frieza is getting 24 ki, 400% defense, uses the taunt so all the attacks are directed towards him during that 5-turn period while he has guaranteed guard and 70% damage reduction. Which at that point, what is killing Golden Frieza in the game? Especially if you have 2 of them. So Gogeta is doing 34.4 million at 55%, which is pretty good. There is the guaranteed crit he's got as well. 22.5 on the additional. He is massively raising attack and defense by 100% on 18 ki, raising allies defense by 50% for 1 turn. We could have given the friend Golden Frieza even more defense if we actually put Gogeta in slot 1 while his active skill was up. And on 12 ki, he's getting a 50% attack and defense raise instead. So we're actually getting some defense on the SA effect this time. Then with Gogeta, he still has the condition for having 3 or more superclass allies on the team, or when there's another movie heroes or movie boss category ally attacking in the same turn. And to go with the 50% dodge chance he has, he also has 40% damage reduction as well. So post super, Gogeta's probably tanking normals for nothing. You know, you have all that defense raise he gets, 100%, 50%, any extra additionals, which he can actually get a lot again, especially when you couple it with that orb changing, which I didn't do because we were still seeing what Frieza could do before we hit the reversible exchange. But with all of that, that's a lot of extra attack and defense that he can possibly get. But even without all of it, just 1 additional 40% damage reduction with 150% extra defense. All normals he should be tanking pretty fine for. Now, we're probably going to get the kill on Rose here. So I'm actually going to hold off on fusing into Gogeta on you because we can use it with Gogeta now that we've exchanged. When Gogeta does get 20 or more ki, he does get an extra 200% attack and defense and a 70% chance to crit. Then when he does activate the active skill or has 24 ki when attacking, Gogeta will get another 150 attack and also guaranteed crit. Then for every orb obtained, he does get 5% dodge chance, 10% attack, and all allies 10% defense, self-excluded when attacking. Which is why, again, when you have all that orb changing with Golden Frieza and immediately exchange into Gogeta, not only do you build up guaranteed dodge in total on top of the 50% he's already got, you build up a ton of extra attack for himself and a ton of extra defensive support for the team as well. Which, again, is great unit building from Dokkan. Have to glaze them for that, I'm sorry. But also, do you know how strong that is? Not only is guaranteed dodge just ridiculous anyway, but then also giving him, you know, you're looking at like, what, 23, 24 orbs in total? If you can get all of them. That's an extra 230, 240% attack for himself. And then also 230 or 240% defense for everyone else. So not only is he getting ridiculously stronger and guaranteed dodge, which is amazing in how hard hitting content is nowadays, but he's also buffing everyone else so much, which I think is ridiculous. And then to go with it, which I would have loved to have seen, for every 5 orbs he picks up, he gets a guaranteed additional super. So if you can get the entire field changed, he will get 5 additional supers. Because you got the one he does, then for every 5 orbs he attains, which is 20 orbs in total, which is 4 extra supers, that takes him up to 5 and then if you get an additional from the dupe system, you could possibly hit 6. All giving 50% extra attack and defense on the additionals each time, all with guaranteed crit because you have 24 key. And then failing that, we can just use his active skill, which as long as we have 3 or more superclass allies on the team, which of course we do have, we can activate it. This will then give Gogeta an extra 540% attack, temporarily raise his attack, and also cause ultimate damage to the enemy. He'll then give himself 540% defense and change all key spheres to tech key spheres, which means we're going to get the 150 attack and guaranteed crit for using his active skill or having 24 key. Then for every orb obtained, because the whole field is going to be changed, we're going to get that guaranteed dodge because it's 5% each time, because we already have 50% to begin with. He's going to get an extra 230, 240% attack because he gets 10% attack each time per orb he picks up. And then the 10% extra defense for all allies when attacking as well, which is another 230, 240. And then we're going to get all those extra additional supers for every 5 orbs we pick up as well. So let's pop this active. Pretty solid amount of damage, but you know, more importantly, this is what I'm here for, which is the orb changing. We have a pretty decent solid amount of links set up as well. So we are getting 23 orbs. I knew it was 23 or 24, which means Gogeta now has guaranteed dodge. I'm actually going to switch into the friend Gogeta as well. So he has some dodge as well. So he now has a 5.33 million attack stat, 4.38 million defense. Don't forget guaranteed dodge. And even if he didn't have guaranteed dodge, he still has 40% damage reduction right now as well. Not that it matters because he's not going to be hit, but just to kind of put it into perspective, he does still have 40% damage reduction, even if he didn't have guaranteed dodge to go with all that defense. There's the guaranteed dodge. Is the friend one going to dodge? Yes, I'll take that. Happily indeed. Oh, you're going to super attack me for like 3 million damage. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. And then he's doing 37.3 mil at 55%, which I'll take. And the reason why that is A-okay with me is because we have another 4 super attacks to go. So you're looking at 37 mil, 24 mil here. That's going to be another 50% attack and defense raise, 26.1. And that's just going to keep going up, all which have guaranteed crit because we use his active skill and also got the 24 key. See, the amount of damage he's doing in total, all with guaranteed crit, is kind of crazy. And I know this isn't the numbers that we've seen, obviously, on the timeline recently, which I've seen some crazy numbers come out of this Golden Frieza and Gogeta unit. But 55%? That's still pretty insane. That's still crazy to pull out. As I said, you're looking at like 34, 35 mil, 25, 26 mil, then just shy of 30 mil, then 30 mil. And then if we hit another additional from the potential system, that's over 30 mil again, all while guaranteed critting. Yeah, that's pretty sick, if you ask me. And as I said, even with all that 4 million defense, even if he didn't have guaranteed dodge, we still have the 40% damage reduction, which doesn't even get to be used here. I mean, to be fair, the only attack link we were really missing right now was Kamehameha, which is completely fine. But honestly, what a unit. And again, at 55%, putting in such an amazing performance like this, crazy. You know, the potential of where you can get Golden Frieza's attack stat, yes, temporarily within the turn, can range, but it still can be very high. And it's kind of a safe thing to do, especially with 70% damage reduction. And as long as you're in that 5-turn limit, guaranteed guard as well. But then also giving the 50% attack support on super attack, having that strong of an active skill. And then Gogeta also having that strong of an active skill and doing the amount of damage he can do. With guaranteed dodge and all the support he gives to everyone else per orb he picks up. It's kind of crazy. High damaging, great support, great team unit, 2 amazing active skills depending on which one you want to use and what you need at the time. both work very, very well, by the way. You can obviously use one or the other if you're running your own and a friend lead, or you can save 2 Golden Friezas or 2 Gogetas. It's entirely up to you and what you need, what event you're taking on, but they are built for like almost every piece of content in the game. Honestly, what a unit Dokkan have dropped for Tanabata, because they are amazing. And at 55%, they are probably one of the strongest no dupe 55% units in the game right now. But that's just my opinion. I want to know your opinion down in the comments. Let me know what you think of Golden Frieza and Gogeta. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.